Hello, and welcome to another insightful episode of your program, Equipping the Next Generation for Impact and Excellence. This on Hammergate Radio Communications. I'm your host, Adeola Gbadebo, and as always, I'm excited to be with you on this journey of growth, transformation, and excellence. Last week, we discussed the vital topic of developing emotional intelligence for success. I hope you took some valuable lessons from it, and more importantly, I hope you started implementing them in your daily lives. I'd love to hear from you. Have you purchased any of the books we recommended? Have you started applying emotional intelligence in your relationships, work, and school? If yes, great job. Keep at it. If not, don't worry. It's never too late to begin. Just begin. Today we'll be discussing what I call a game changer. The topic is time management mastery. Time management mastery, making every moment count. Time management mastery, making every moment count. So time is one of the most precious resources we have, yet many of us struggle with it. We struggle with using it effectively. If you often feel like 24 hours in a day isn't enough, or you do find yourself constantly procrastinating, then this discussion will help you turn things around. So you need to grab your notebook, get ready to take notes, and let's dive in. What is time management? Why does it matter? What are the thoughts about time management? Let's define what time management is. Okay, so time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities to maximize productivity. When managed effectively, time helps you achieve more in less time, reduces stress, and leads to greater success in both your personal and professional life. So I often say this way that time is the unit of life. All our time on earth can be calculated with time. Time is an irrecoverable resource. It is a convertible resource. Let's do this. Our one of those recitations we take while we're small. Simple recitation, but it's a fact of life. 60 seconds, make 1 minute. 60 minutes, make 1 hour. 24 hours, make a day. 7 days, make a week. 4 weeks, make 1 month. 12 months, make a year. 52 weeks is something as also makes a year. 365 days, make 1 year. What does this tell you? This should tell you that 1 year, a whole year can actually be calculated in seconds. In seconds. Very profound fact of life. Don't allow anyone to waste your time. Anyone who's wasting your time is wasting your life. Time is a unit of life. So many people struggle with time management because they do not set clear priorities. They underestimate how long, tasks will take. Or they simply allow distractions to consume their day. If you can master your time, you can master your life. Let's see. Why developing time management skills is important for you as a young person. Let me correct something. Please, as a young person, don't ever talk about African time. There's nothing like the African time. That African time mentality is one of the mentalities that has made people remain poor in Africa. Because the difference between the poor man and the rich man is in their understanding of time and it's in how they deal with time. Let me tell you this. A poor man spends time to save money. However, a rich man spends money to save time. Why is time management important? Number one, it boosts productivity. It helps you accomplish so much in less time. It boosts productivity. If you see someone who is a good time manager, he understands his priorities, able to set them right, avoids all those distractions, especially phone calls, you would see that person is able to achieve more within less time. Someone who is good with time management will not be a stressed person. It reduces stress. When you plan your time well, you avoid last-minute rushes. You won't be stressed. You will not be. Your life will not be scattered. If you lack time management, your life is going to be scattered. Time management helps you achieve goals faster because your goals are supposed to be time-bound. Time-bound goals get completed on schedule. Time-bound goals get completed on schedule. It enhances discipline and self-control. You develop the habit of following through commitments. It improves focus and concentration. You learn to block out distractions and work efficiently. It also increases career and academic success. Yes, because employers and educators value individuals who manage their time very well. It leads to better decision making. Yes, of course, with time management, you avoid rushed or poor choices. It gives you more free time. It gives you more free time. While others are complaining that the time isn't enough, some others have free time. Efficient time use leaves room for rest and recreation because they are so organized. They are able to quickly do the things they want to do on time. That gives them extra time for them to rest and for recreation. It enhances your reputation. Punctual and reliable people are respected in every field. When you know that this person is a punctual person, You know, we always respect such people. It creates balance in life. Oh, yes, it does create balance in life. You learn to manage work, relationships, and self care effectively. You learn to manage work, your relationships, and self care effectively. Let's look at 10 other consequences of poor time management. If you do not master your time well, these are some of the things that can happen. Increased stress and anxiety. You are constantly raising against deadlines, and that creates a lot of tension. You'll be stressed, really stressed. You are going to miss opportunities because poor time management leads to wasted chances. What it means that you are not always ready. You will never be ready for something. Oh, it's time for people to be chosen for them, but you are still on this project because of poor management. You are not ready, so the opportunity goes to someone else. Low productivity of you will almost always never get things done on time. Almost always, most of the time, you can't get things done on time. Your productivity is low. You become someone that is unreliable. Eventually, you may seem irresponsible. Poor reputation. Yes, like I said, people will see that you are unreliable. You create a poor reputation. You will have strained relationships. Always running late affects personal and professional relationships. Financial losses, missed deadlines, missed opportunities, and inefficiency can cost you money. It's going to cost you money. Lack of progress, you might feel stuck or stagnant. Yes, because who's going to promote that unproductive person? That person who is really unproductive, who is going to promote such a person? Poor work balance, poor work-life balance. You will struggle to balance work and personal life. Well, you could have health issues also because stress from procrastination can lead to fatigue and burnout. You will have stress. That stress can cause serious health issues for you. 10, number 10, it reduces your confidence because feeling overwhelmed by unfinished tasks can affect your self-esteem. Let me tell you a story that happened to me personally. In the year 2010, then I was working with an HR firm, and we had this bid. We had this job that we were bidding for, which was at that time it was a good one if we got it. So while we were bidding for it, we needed to go to Abuja. I needed to go to Abuja to have a presentation for the man that was going to actually approve the job. He's in Abuja, but I'm able to pick up my check in Lagos. So that day, I left for Abuja. It was the first flight, and I think the flight left around 7 a.m. Got to Abuja a little before, about a few minutes to 8. Airport stuff and all that, going around, getting a taxi to pick me from the airport, and then took me to the venue, to the office of that organization we were bidding to run a project for. So I got there around 9 a.m. and the man said, "Oh, you're here. Oh, well, since you're here," said, "You are too." I thought it would be good that two of you did the presentation so we can pick, but that's fine if you're here. And then I had the presentation. It was a good presentation. It was nice. Asked all their questions. And then I was still waiting for the second organization. And then when he came and someone just showed me that, I said, why are we waiting for the second one? If we're already good with this one, can we just go with this? And he said, that's fine. So it was approved and all that, sent the message to the headquarters in Lagos. And then I had to call my office again to say, I'm flying back immediately. So I flew back to Lagos. I got to Lagos around 2 p.m. The driver was waiting for me at the airport. So straight from the airport, I spoke with my boss. I told him, I said, I have to go to Marina. Straight from the airport, I was in Marina, I think by 3:30. Before 3:30, we had signed off on the things we were supposed to sign off on. We already got the check and we left. Yes, we did the job. It was fantastic. It was a good one. And that particular project actually earned me a promotion at work. Now let's go to the other side. You know, the other people, they kept asking for the other organization. So one day I sat down with one of my friends. We're just talking and we're just generally talking about work. And I mentioned that, this particular job, that particular project I was able to get and all that actually earned me a promotion. So one of my friends said, oh, you mean it was the organization that got it? I said, yes. He now said they were the other company that bidded for the job. I said, oh, really? What happened to you guys? Why didn't you guys come early? He said, come early. He said, we went by road. He said, I traveled by road. I said, really? So he left Lagos 8 o'clock. By the time he was leaving Lagos, 8 o'clock, I was in Abuja. Then the vehicle, he got to Abuja around around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. By then, I already had the check. Then the following morning, he went to the office of the man. And the man said, what happened? Why didn't you come yesterday? Okay, let's listen to your presentation. He did the presentation. I had everything I said. And the man said, wow, you actually have a better plan. And it would have been cheaper for us. Unfortunately, we issued the check yesterday. We did that because we saw what we thought we needed and it was okay. But this would have, if you had come yesterday, they missed that opportunity. You know, the man asked him, I said, why did you come late? He had to tell the man, he said, I'm sorry, sir, I came in yesterday night. So why did you come in the night? He said, I came in by bus. The man said, a young man, you need to get out of that organization. That organization is not going to help you to grow. How can they want to bid for a job of about 48 million in the year 2010, which was a lot of money? How can they want to bid for such a job and ask you to travel by road? It doesn't make sense. So please get out of that organization. Now, what is the moral of the story? While that organization was trying to save money, they spent time. But we saved time by spending money, and my organization was able to get that job. This is a lesson for every one of you. You know, sometimes, you may be given money to go by flight, and then you want to save some money, and then you spend the whole day traveling on the road. It's not always a good decision. Don't work at what I said. Poor people spend time to save money. Rich people spend money to save time. I have a few books, and I think if you want to dive deeper into mastering your time, you could buy any of these books. One, the title is "Eat That Frog." "Eat That Frog" by Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is one of my favorite authors. I've read tons of his books. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Now, this is one very common book. Said The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. That's a book that every young man should have. The third one is Deep Work. Deep Work by Cal Newport. You could buy any of these books. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. And Deep Work by Cal Newport. So let's talk about time management in leadership. So effective leaders prioritize time. They prioritize their time. They delegate responsibilities and focus on high impact activities. They only do the most important things themselves. They delegate other things. They're able to know their strengths, what they are good at doing, and they do that while delegating other things. So if they have someone who can do some things better in their team, they'll rather give that person the opportunity of doing those things, and they focus on what they can do. That's good leadership. Now, good HR managers must manage recruitment, training, and employee relations efficiently. So there are a lot of things that HR managers also manage, and if there are a lot of things on their table, if they are unable to prioritize their time, it's not going to help them. What about project management? Of course, every project runs on deadlines. Every project runs on deadlines. Poor time management can derail an entire project. Poor time management can derail an entire project. In time management, when I have training on time management, I usually use the quadrant method to train people on how to prioritize their time. Let me explain. You do like you draw like it's 4 cardinal points, and your page will be divided into 4 different pages. The first one up is called the first quadrant. Then the next one beside it is the second quadrant. They are all up. The third and fourth quadrant are the 2 divisions downstairs, under the line. So the first quadrant, you put urgent, important there. It is urgent and important. The next one beside it, you put important, not urgent. Important, not urgent. The third one, which is under the first quadrant, where you wrote urgent and important, this one says urgent, not important. Urgent, not important. Then the fourth one, you write not important, not urgent. Now, I usually tell people to ensure that almost everything they have in life they are able to distribute it between the first 2 quadrants. Which one? Says that it is urgent and important. You have to attend to it immediately. You must be able to prioritize, to be able to all the activities or the things happening around your life on a daily basis. You have to be able to put them. So it says it is urgent and important, meaning you have to attend to it immediately. The next one says it is important but not urgent, meaning it is important, you can come back to it later. It's not urgent. It's not a matter of life and death. You can come back to this later. The third quadrant says it is not important, but it is urgent. I call that the quadrant of deception. There is nothing in life that will not be important, that is not important, but will be urgent. It's nothing. It's not important, but it's urgent. For example, you have a friend that is a friend of yours, you gist a lot, but you're at work and that your friend is calling you, and while the guy is calling you, he sent you a text saying, I get hot gist for you. Have a hot gist for you. You need to pick your, let's talk about it now. But you're at work. He keeps calling you. That your friend is trying to make it look urgent, but the truth is that he just wants to gist with you. It's not important. He is the one trying to make it urgent. So maybe what you can do then is to put your phone on silence and concentrate on your work, and even remove it from vibration so that the vibration will not be disturbing you. You need to learn to understand those things. It says it's urgent, but it is not important. There's nothing like that. It is a quadrant of deception. And of course, the last one says it is neither urgent nor important. The activities that they are not urgent, they are not important. That is a quadrant you need to avoid. Avoid that quadrant completely. So why do you want to be doing things that are not important and are not urgent? So you will need to learn to distribute all the activities you're supposed to do. So your task at work, many of them are urgent and important. There are things that you should do in the first quadrant. Things that you should do in the first quadrant. And then emergencies also come up with the first quadrant. There are emergencies. When emergency comes up, you have to go and attend to it. So you must know how to work on those things. There are other fields where time management is very, very essential, because, for example, in healthcare now, doctors and nurses must manage time to provide quality patient care. They must manage time. If they want the quality patient care, they have to manage time. There are a lot of people coming to the hospitals, especially the government hospitals, and who probably have been there very early in the morning. By the time doctors resume, there are a lot of people waiting. So doctors and nurses have to manage that situation, that scenario, before it gets out of hand. Education. So teachers in the classroom, they need to balance the time between using their lesson plan, doing the teaching using their lesson plan. They also are going to grade, give, teach, interact with the students, grade their work, and manage the classroom at that time. So there are a lot of activities going on in the classroom that teachers must have good time management in order to be able to manage their classroom. In fact, there's a course. There's a course on what we call it, effective classroom management, and it's all about time management for teachers. As an entrepreneur, business owners must juggle multiple responsibilities. Is the CEO, is the accountant, is the rep, is the marketer, so he does a lot of things. And the more he's able to do each of those things, if efficiently, the more likely that the organization will expand. So that's one of the things. Now, in sports, athletes must follow strict schedule for training and competitions. Athletes follow very strict. In fact, in sports, if you see any athlete, be it a footballer, is it a sprinter, is it a lawn tennis player, whatever vocation that person is involved with, if they are not disciplined with time, they will never be successful. There are names of footballers that spring up because they are gifted. Unfortunately, you cannot hear about them for too long because they lack the discipline to show up in trainings on time. If you don't show up in trainings on time, it's a matter of time that the coach will understand that you are not reliable. So he's not going to give you, and he may not give you enough playing time. If you don't get enough playing time, how would you be able to display your talents for people to see. If you're unable to display your talent for people to see, it's a matter of time that you're going to fade out of recognition. Now, in the creative industry, writers, artists, and designers need time management to meet deadlines because, yes, there are deadlines for it. Most in the creative industry, they run like each of them runs like projects, and they are time bound. They run on deadlines for them to be able to do well. So, these are my closing thoughts for today. Time is a currency. How you spend it determines the quality of your life. Mastering time management is not just about working harder, but working smarter. If you can develop and apply these principles, you will achieve more, reduce stress, and create the future you desire. So I hope today's episode has been enlightening and practical. Remember, success begins with how well you manage your time. So we want to hear from you. Send your feedback, your questions through our email. You can send it to us at contact@theamogate.org. Contact@theamogate.org. You can also reach out to us on our WhatsApp line. That's +234 810 999 6666. I'll take it again. +234 810 999 6666. You can follow us on our social media platform on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Facebook, all at Amogate. That this program, Equipping the Next Generation for Impact and Excellence, airs every Monday at 5 p.m. West African time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. Mark your calendars and invite a friend to join in and listen. I'll end this broadcast with this inspirational quote. You may delay, but time will not. That's a quote by Benjamin Franklin. You may delay, but time will not. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. The clock is always moving. Keep going. That's by Sam Levinson. Ladies and gentlemen, stay intentional, stay focused, and make every moment count. See you next week. Thank you.